Do you hear it?
I don't. Are you messing with me like the gigantic dog frog that you saw?
No, that frog was real.
Oh my god. Every single action figure is knocked over. They broke this shelf. All of that stuff's knocked over. I'm missing rings.
Do you think you were going to put toys within reach of our children and then stay there?
I think my power rings are missing off of my shelf. So I need you to keep your eyes open for that.
What?
I'm not going to say anything because it makes me happy to see you playing with Star Wars toys. So you just keep doing what you're doing and we'll work around it. Welcome everybody to the Bob and Katie Show.
I'm Katie.
And I'm Bob. And if you're sitting there thinking to yourself, wow, these guys really sound weird, it's because we're sick. And we've been there for what? You've been sick for...
I've been sick for like 3 weeks.
It's been 3 weeks. Isn't it? A couple weeks for sure, maybe. You've had like some chest stuff.
Well, I got sick and got over it and then got sick again.
Yeah. I'm like my, third day in? I'm miserable.
With the man cold.
Yeah, it's not...
Please reference episode number... I don't remember.
See? Yeah. You don't remember just the man cold. I think it's 76, actually.
So, let me ask you something.
All right, go ahead.
Did I mess you up?
No. I hate how you're right. I hate how nasally I sound. What do you got to ask me?
So let me ask you something.
You said that already. Ask me the question.
So let me ask you something.
Okay. I was wondering. Do you need to ask me something?
I do need to ask you something. Okay. So let me ask you something.
All right.
Have you ever struck up a conversation with someone and the conversation just flowed really naturally?
Yeah.
You know, whether it be a stranger, a friend, whatever. You know, the conversation just naturally happens.
It happens with you every so often. A lot of times I have to force it and do a lot of edits, but I know what you're talking about.
So...
You keep blinking. I'm just going to edit that awkward pause right out.
But have you ever experienced the opposite of that?
Yeah, just now. That's what just happened.
Like a painfully awkward conversation. Nothing is natural about it.
Yeah.
That happened to me tonight.
Tonight?
At the grocery store.
You talking with a stranger?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm all ears.
I always go out of my way to just be really friendly to cashiers.
Yeah.
Because I've been there and done that. I've cashiered at many different places, various jobs throughout the years, as well as waiting tables and stuff. So I'm like, I know what it's like to be on your feet all day, dealing with the public, you know. I know, I've been there. So I go out of my way to always try to be friendly. And so tonight I was at the grocery store and this girl was ringing up the groceries and you could tell she was trying to make small talk, like a cashier does. And it was just awkward. Like, that's the best way I can put it. It was just awkward.
So it wasn't anything particular you were talking about. It was just...
Well, at one point...
You guys just weren't clicking.
I was buying grapes.
Okay.
Right? And they were the really dark purple grapes.
That seems very relevant to the...
paint
the picture.
Hear me out.
Okay.
Stop interrupting me. Quit being rude. Rude behind. Anyway, there's different kinds of grapes. There's green, red, purple. Anyway, they were
green grapes.
The
we
dark
got
ones,
red grapes. We got grape jelly, grape wine. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you and be so rude.
So I was buying grapes.
We've established.
And it was a big bag of grapes. They come by the pound. Well, I had put some extra in there. I wanted a lot of grapes.
Did you eat some while you was walking around the store?
I didn't. I did not.
Oh, look at you. I'm being all nice and stuff.
I know. I'm such a goody two-shoes. Anyway, I was buying these grapes, and she could tell, the bag was, really, really full. And she was like, oh, I need to try these. Or something like that.
Did she reach in and take a grape?
No, she didn't.
Oh, okay. I was like...
And she was like, are these any good? And I was like, yeah. I was like, my kids really like the green ones. Well, they kind of like all of them, but these are my favorite. And then she says, why are they your favorite?
They taste better than the other ones.
I just want to be like...
That's a personal question.
This is kind of a personal question.
How dare you ask me about my grape preferences? I don't know.
We're just making small talk.
You don't know my life.
We're making small talk here at the grocery store. And she's like, why are the purple ones your favorite?
And that's when you go, because when I was but 14, I was eating green ones. And then my uncle came in And then it got really bad really fast.
Oh my God. Because she was like, is it the taste? And I'm thinking, we're talking about grapes here.
Yeah.
If I have a preference, obviously it's probably going to be because of I like the way they taste.
Yeah.
You know, it was just
These
like...
taste better.
It was like, there was conversation, but it wasn't like a pleasant, flowy conversation.
It was ridiculous conversation.
It was really awkward. And then so I sense like all this awkwardness. Maybe it was just me. And then so I'm like, yeah, you know, like, we can't even, it's hard for me to keep grapes in my house because that's why I was like, I have 3-year-old twins and they can reach the drawer, the like crisper drawer in the refrigerator where I keep the grapes.
Aww.
And they'll go in there and they'll sneak grapes.
Aren't you sweet?
And, I'm just trying to like lighten the mood.
You weren't like, oh, I married this fat man that comes through and just grabs a handful of grapes and he sits on the couch in a toga and makes me feed him to him and just stuff like that.
Palm leaves.
And I've only got
palm leaf in one hand, grapes in the other.
I've only got one woman, so you have to do the leaf and the grapes.
I know I have to do all the work.
But that's why I love you, because you sacrifice so much for me
everything.
To make me comfortable.
Everything.
I mean, like, it's hard work laying down and focusing on TV and trying to eat grapes with somebody at the same time. I'm doing the best I can, and you really helped me pull through that situation.
Mm.
So
anyway, I just walked out of the grocery store going, thank God that's over. Like, you know, like, not that she wasn't friendly.
Now, when you walked out,
it was just like, it just didn't click.
When you walked out and you're like, thank God that's over. Did the thought cross your mind that, hey, in like 4 hours, I'm going to be talking about grapes again?
No.
Oh, well, here you are.
It wasn't the grapes necessarily. It was just the small talk. It didn't
click.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, why?
And it was like so awkward.
The big purple ones, why are those your favorite?
They taste good.
Okay. Did you see how awkward that was, like, for a second? Because there was nowhere to go.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like a question. That's a weird question for you to ask me, and you're my husband of 10 years. Yeah. Like, this is
even more weird
really
than that,
awkward question for a stranger to
there's
ask.
Somebody listening right now that's going, how have they talked about grapes for 7 minutes? Like, 7 minutes seems like a really long time.
You know what? Let's talk about this fly, this little house fly that is buzzing around my head and driving me insane. Why is it here? We are upstairs in the podcast room. Why is there a fly in here? What is it looking for?
It follows you. I don't see it. Do you see it?
Watch my head, because it's buzzing around your head now. It's behind you. Do you hear it?
I don't. Are you messing with me like the gigantic dog frog that you saw?
No, that frog was real.
You're making everything peak. You need to calm down.
So I get home from the grocery store after my awkward grape encounter.
Mm-hmm. You got grapes on the brain?
No. I have frogs on the brain.
Okay.
So it's rainy, nasty, thanks to Hurricane Irma. Somebody
literally just did that thing where you tap twice on your iPhone and you swipe the app away, because they talked about grapes for 7 minutes and now they're going to talk about frogs. What did I hit play on?
So I get home from the grocery store. Don't insult my story. I get home from the grocery store.
I didn't, but when I make jokes, you got to laugh. If you don't laugh, nobody else laughs.
What was that? You hit my ear. You could have poked me in my eardrum and made me deaf.
Don't be over dramatic. It was a bread tie.
It could have stabbed me in my ear hole.
You're facing me dead on. That would have to be like some Matrix stuff.
It could have ricocheted.
Off of what?
My ear. It could have went like this.
So your working theory is that I am good enough that I can throw a bread tie. It would hit the concave of your ear.
Well, you hit my ear just now.
Bend in half. Work its way down.
I didn't say anything about it bending in half.
It would have to, because it was way longer than what your ear is. Then it would have to work its way down your ear cavity, find your eardrum.
My ear cavity.
And poke it.
Yeah, it could happen.
You're ridiculous.
If it's dangerous to use Q-tips and those belong in your ears, then why couldn't a bread tie in the ear poke your eardrum and make you deaf?
First of all, Q-tips don't belong in your ear. That's just what we use them for, and I do that too. I'm not saying that I don't use them. I'm saying I do it. That's not what they're made for. They're cotton swabs. They're not ear hole swabs.
They're made to clean your earwax out.
But you have a hand on the other end of that cotton swab, you're like sticking it down in there.
I don't go my ear hole.
Well, you still have your eardrum, so obviously you don't. But
because I have had a bread tie stuck in it.
I was like, can you pick the bread tie up and hand it to me? I was kind of like fidgeting with it. Come on, you got the little Star Wars toy. Give me the bread tie back.
There are 3 of them on the floor over here.
Oh, they're not bread ties. You know what those are?
Those are goodie bag ties, aren't they?
No, they opened another toy.
Oh.
And it was like the little ties holding. It's the same thing as a bread tie. Well, I don't need 3 of them. Just give me one.
So I got home from the grocery store. I'm telling my story about my
You tell the story. I'm going to get the bread tie.
I get home from the grocery store and I grab an armload of stuff and I start walking up to the door. And there's something on at the door. Like on the door frame at the bottom. And I was like, what is that? And I get closer and I was like, is that a frog? Except for it was the most ginormous frog I've ever seen in my entire life. Like it was the size of a small dog.
Is ginormous a real word?
Of course it is. It's a combination of gigantic and enormous.
Oh, so it's not a real word?
Yes, it's real.
All right, keep talking.
I just said it, didn't I?
Yeah, frog dog. Keep going.
So this frog was humongous.
Uh-huh.
And I stood there for a good solid 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Going, how do I approach this situation? I wasn't just going to walk up there and have the thing hop on me.
Yeah.
I'm terrified of all things slithery, slimy, creepy,
now,
crawly.
What you're leaving out of this story, because I know this story, obviously, is you're not letting people know that you thought I was playing some kind of joke.
Yeah, well, at first, but I was like, is he pranking me? I didn't think it was real because it was so big.
Yeah.
I have never in my life seen a frog this big. So yeah, I didn't think it was real. I thought you were trying to scare me because you do have a fake roach and a fake spider and stuff like that you try to scare me with.
You know, my snake is missing. I haven't seen that thing in years. Do you know what I'm talking about? It was like a little wooden snake and you would hold the end of it and the way that it was cut, it would like slither around. I haven't seen that. I got to buy another one of those.
So anyway,
or that little scorpion in a box.
I'm like, how do I approach this?
Well, whatever you did didn't work because I was sitting on the inside of the house. I went back to the
car and sat the stuff down, and I was like, I have to take a picture of this. Because the frog, not only was it sitting on the door, like the frame of the door, like right at it's like its nose was like at the corner of the door.
And he was trying to come in.
Anybody who's ever had a dog who wanted to come inside, how they'll go right to the door. Right to where the door opens and like put their nose right there and just wait.
Could you imagine if you were on the inside of the house and you open the door and Frog Dog jumps in?
Oh my God, I would die.
Because whatever happened on the outside scared you because I was inside.
So I put all this stuff down. I had an armload of stuff.
Okay, armload of stuff.
Put the stuff down. In the truck. It's raining, by the way. Mm-hmm. I open the door of the truck. I throw the stuff down in the front seat. There's rain everywhere. And I grab my phone. And
so
I
you
go
get
to take a picture
of Frog Dog, yeah.
But I got to get close. And as I get close, I'm like crouched down with my phone out trying to take a picture of this thing.
So you're like ninja crouching through our front yard.
Okay. I'm like crouching and I'm like getting closer. And I was like 2 feet away from it. And it hopped backwards.
Oh yeah, I knew you were
in my general direction, and I screamed
really loud because I come running out the house with a half naked baby, and
it was getting me.
I knew your scream. I was like, something touched her. That's what I thought. I was like, something. Like a creepy crawler has touched her elbow or the back of her neck. I was more concerned that you were taking your clothes off.
Did you think you were going to open the door and see me like, oh my God.
Like I opened the door and there's boobs flying everywhere and underwear flying off and I was going to have to grab you and pull you inside.
I had chills. It scared me so bad. I had chills. And then it hops off into the night and you don't believe me about this dog-sized frog.
Yeah. I mean, I went outside with like a spotlight trying to find Dog Frog and I couldn't find him.
Well, he was hiding somewhere because he's real. He's humongous, and I hope you run into him in the dark, and it scares you too.
A frog's not going to scare me in the dark.
I'm telling you, this thing was scary. It was a monster.
I did get scared one time.
It was a monster frog.
I did get scared one time of a frog in the dark. It was when we lived in the apartment. I was walking like towards the steps, and I stepped on one.
Oh.
And like right before it dies, it makes a weird noise.
Like it literally croaked.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like, literally croaked.
Yeah.
That's sad.
But no, I was definitely worried about like how much clothes you still had on, and that's why I ran out. Because our neighbors, especially the ones right across there, already think weird things about us.
What? How do you know that? Did they tell you?
Well, what happened the other day? Tell me. All right, check it out. Let's give everybody context. Let everybody know what you saw when you looked out the back door.
When our pool went flying by the window?
Yeah, so we have this like rectangular blow up pool.
It's an inflatable kiddie pool. It's like 10 feet long though. It's
a pretty good size.
It's huge. And I was on the phone with my mom, and I'm talking to my mom, and I'm in our kitchen, and then all of a sudden I said, "Oh crap, Mom, I gotta go, my pool's flying away." And I ran out the back door. I'm in my pajamas.
Yeah. Well, you're always in your pajamas.
I'm pretty much living. Our neighbors probably think I never get dressed. Our kids are always naked and I'm always in pajamas.
Yeah.
So anyway, I run outside in my pajamas and grab this pool that has flown across the backyard and headed towards the street. And I start dragging it. And then as I'm dragging it, it occurs to me, where do I think I'm dragging it to? It's windy outside because we're getting like, just some effects from Hurricane Irma. Not anything like Florida and stuff, but it's been windy and rainy. And yeah, I start dragging it and I'm like, where am I going to take this? It was like really nasty and slimy on the inside where we had drained it. But before we drained it, it was like the water had gotten really, really gross. Mm-hmm. So I didn't want to just like throw it in the garage. It's nasty. So I head to the side of the house and I'm like, I don't know. I'm winging it, man. I'm totally winging it at this point. And then I see a propane tank.
All right.
Because we don't have much in our yard.
Let's not skip past that. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to think about this for a minute. A propane tank. Continue the story.
We don't have much in our yard. It's pretty bare.
It is. We don't even have grass in the backyard.
Yeah, we barely have grass. There's like a water hose and a satellite dish and a propane tank. And so I was like, I picked up the propane tank. I was like, it's pretty heavy.
It was full. I just bought that.
So I was like, well, I'll weigh it down for the time being until you get home. We figure out, what to do with it.
So you weighted down a pool that just flew away with a full can of propane.
Well, I didn't know it was heavy.
It was heavy.
So heavy. I sat it down inside the pool, and it was only a temporary thing. It wasn't supposed to stay that way forever.
Right.
And then I went to the grocery store, or no. Anyway, I left, and I got back home last night, and it was still there. The pool was still there.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm going to pick up the story now. We knew that it was going to get windy. So I was going to come outside and I was going to get the pool, put it in the garage. I was going to get their new little house they got for their birthday and I was going to pull that in. Well, I walk around the side of the house where you told me the pool was and the pool wasn't there. And the propane tank wasn't there.
Of course it wasn't because it was holding the pool down.
And my first thought was, did somebody steal it? Because it like for a second it almost seemed unlikely because the wind wasn't blowing that hard. But apparently it was. Now, long story short, the pool ends up across the street to the right in our neighbor's yard where they have almost the same exact pool. And
they were literally having a pool party.
I told you about that. I told you I had to go over there and get the pool. But here's what I didn't tell you the other night.
The pools they were having.
Oh, it was a pool party. I got you.
Pool party.
This is what I didn't tell you.
It was a pool party.
Because I wanted to save something for the podcast. I grab the pool and I start dragging it through his yard. And he comes out the back door.
No.
And he says one word. He just goes, it was 2 words. He goes, "Excuse me."
Did he think you were just walking off? With this, like, how's this man going to come in my yard and just walk off with my pool?
And I knew exactly what was happening. And I turned around and I go, "This is my pool. That's your pool." I said, "My pool was over at the house with a propane tank in it and it flew away."
You told me. So at that point, he's probably like, just take the pool.
So the guy goes, "Oh, okay." And like he backs back into the door.
Did he see his pool? Yeah. Like for proof? Like he didn't just take your word for it, right?
He turned to the right and he looked at the pool. Because he came out the back door. And he backs back into the door. Like he doesn't like turn around and walk in. He's
keeping his eye on you.
He steps backwards and shuts the door. And I continue to trek through his yard across the street. and up to the house. Now, I throw the pool into the garage, and I'm like, okay.
And so, I just want to add this note that we've never met these neighbors before.
No.
We've only lived here 4 months, and they've lived here less time than we have, because I saw when they moved in.
Right.
So, and we've never actually met. They live like diagonally from us. So this is
that way. You keep pointing over there. Where's the front of the house? Oh, you're right. Yeah, over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know what I'm talking about. I'm in this house all day, every day. They're right over there.
Okay.
And so this is your first encounter with our new neighbors.
Yes.
And he thinks you're stealing his kid's pool.
Right. And then when he finds out I'm not stealing his kid's pool.
So what do you think went through his mind? Because before he came out there, he obviously had to peek through the blinds and see there's this man in his yard walking away.
Fat white man.
He's walking away.
With your swimming pool.
With your kid's pool. Could you imagine if it was us, if you saw a man in our yard and you thought they were taking our kid's pool, you'd be pissed. You would come barreling out of that door.
Like a madman. Here, put that pool down.
You probably would have said,
and I turned to the right, and you're crouching through the yard with your phone trying to take a picture of him. And then something touches your leg, and you take your shirt off. So, yeah.
So if the neighbors didn't already think we were weird with the pool, now I'm in the yard screaming at night.
Yeah, and it was late, too. What was it, 10 o'clock? 10:30?
Oh.
Now, I didn't give the guy any context. All I said was the propane tank was in the pool when it flew away. So he goes back inside, and I know he's going, why the hell were they storing propane tanks in their swimming pool? So I don't know if he thought we were like doing some kind of weird like drug thing.
This is my pool, and then it flew away.
I know.
I feel like we need to write him a note and leave it on his door.
Oh, so your plan is for me to sneak back into his yard? Like you crouch through and take pictures while I'm sticking stuff on it? And he calls the police and he's like, some fat man just stuck something on my door. Some lady screamed, took her clothes off, and was taking pictures of a frog dog.
But thank God they didn't steal the pool.
Yeah. So I come back over and I threw the garage. I threw the garage. I threw the pool. Yeah. I'm pissed. I'm livid at this point. I'm throwing parts of the house away. I threw the pool in the garage, but I had to find the propane tank. And there wasn't a loud boom at any point, so I don't think it exploded. I guess whenever the pool tipped, flew up, whatever, the propane tank bounced out and we have a hill.
Our yard is sloped.
It apparently rolled down the hill
kind of like the streamers did the other day.
Yeah, onto the road, and I think turned and just rolled down the street.
It's like, I'm out.
Because I found it 2 houses over. All right, so there's the road, right? And when the road comes to the end, to the sides of it, there's another little piece of cement.
It's a curb.
Yeah, curb. Yeah. When I found it, it was up against the curb. And the only thing I can compare it to is that movie Tin Cup. Do you know what I'm talking about? You ever seen the movie Tin Cup?
Long.
With, what's that guy's name? It's the guy that Puddles the Clown loves so much.
Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner. When they do the bet with the golf ball, and the guy turns, and he just hits the golf ball down the street, and it just bounces. Dump, dump, dump. So that's what I picture in my mind, is that that thing, it just rolled. That propane tank rolled 100 yards just away.
Peace out, yo. I'm done.
So it didn't explode. I had some people at work tell me that I should exchange it. I don't think so. I think I put my ear up to it. I was the propane whisperer. I was and I didn't hear anything hissing or anything.
Why do they think you should exchange it?
Just in case it got damaged or something.
Does it cost money to exchange it if it's full?
Oh, yeah. You'll pay full price, full exchange price. You're screw that. Just hook a hose up to it and hope you don't explode, fat man. Cook the burgers.
You've already melted this house, so, yeah. I mean,
We want to bring that up for?
Because the side of our house is melted. I'm not going to forget about that.
You'll always remember. I do have some interesting news. I think I've self-diagnosed what I have going on. like this thing that we deal with where I don't sleep, you know, and I don't I don't feel the differences between morning and night. When you wake up in the morning, like you come downstairs and you're like, oh, let me open up the blinds and I want the sunshine to flutter in and bounce across my eyelids, and I want coffee, and I want the house to smell of bacon. And
I open the blinds and let the sunshine in to try to tell my brain to wake up.
Yeah.
Because I need all the help I can get. And then that's shortly followed by about 4 cups of coffee.
Yeah. And like, what would you have for breakfast? Just, just
cereal.
So you have cereal or like a bagel.
Yeah.
Or like pizza.
I don't eat pizza for breakfast.
Why not? Because your body feels like it's morning time, right? And you should have like I don't have that. When I wake up, I'm not tired. Like I never wake up and go, oh, I'm so tired. I got to go have 4 cups of coffee. I wake up, I put my feet on the floor, and it's as if I never even went to sleep.
Well, lucky you.
You already knew this. This is no surprise to you. You know that's how I am. Now,
you need to quit pointing that bread at me like it's a weapon, okay?
It's going to come across you again. All right, this is where the self-diagnosis comes in.
You know that's a bad thing, right? Did you Google?
No. I did this. It was all me. I go to the garage. I think this is like 4:15.
What, last night?
No. This was before the kid's birthday party. And I go out in the garage and I'm like, I'm going to put this house together. Okay?
So you just wake up at 4:15 in the morning. It's like, I'm going to go build something?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. I'm telling you, like, that's how I work. So I go down there and I'm putting this thing together. And then me and one of my buddies start messaging each other that I work with.
Why was he up at 4:15 in the morning?
Something happened at work and we had communications back and forth. So we're messaging back and forth, and we're not even talking about work anymore. It's just random.
Yeah, because I mean, why you don't talk about work at 4:15 in the morning?
Oh yes, you do. Welcome to my life. So I go in. I think this is around 5 or so, and I get a Red Bull, and sitting on the counter was that like Canadian whiskey stuff that I got not too long ago, and I was like, I want some of that. So
at 5 o'clock in the morning,
I had a shot.
At 5 o'clock in the morning,
yeah,
that's not normal.
That's what I'm telling you. I'm diagnosing myself. Like some people say, "Oh, you're an alcoholic," but that's not the case. I wasn't drinking at 5 o'clock in the morning because I had to drink. I was drinking at 5 o'clock in the morning because I had been up for 45 minutes. I was building a house, and it didn't.
You were building a playhouse.
Oh yeah, it was a playhouse. Sorry guys, it was a playhouse.
You're like, I was building a house, so I needed a shot of whiskey.
It was a
little tyke's playhouse.
Shut up. Let me tell this story my way. I'm trying to like ease people into like my psyche here. I don't feel like it's morning time.
Of course not, because you're drinking shots of whiskey. You probably don't feel like it's any time.
And this, shortly after, is when I self-diagnosed myself with Groovy Stoop syndrome. Like, I think that's what I have.
Is that a thing, or did you make that name up?
What?
What'd you say? Groovy Stoop?
Groovy Stoop syndrome, yeah. No, I made that up for sure.
You made up the name Groovy Stoop?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I was probably like 4 or 5 shots in, and
Groovy Stoop syndrome sounded like a good name, huh?
No, it was raining really, really bad. Like really bad outside. And the dude I was messaging, he was trying to leave his house. I think it's around 5:30 maybe. And he sends me a picture of his front yard and it was flooding. He's like, I'm just sitting on the stoop waiting for it. I was like, stoop's a funny word. And that's what I meant. That's how I responded. I was like, stoop is a funny word. And he messaged me back and he's like, no, groovy's a funny word. And then I thought, it is 5:30 in the morning. I'm building a little tyke's house, taking shots and talking about groovy stoops. This is what I have. I have Groovy Stoop syndrome. And that is when you can't tell the difference between night and day, other than I can look outside and see that it's night and day. What do you think?
I think you should contact WebMD and get them to put those symptoms on their website.
Can we get that going on Twitter? Hashtag Groovy Stoop syndrome or hashtag Groovy Stoop.
Do you think anybody else has Groovy Stoop syndrome?
Oh, there's definitely people that have Groovy Stoop. Now, I'm not talking about people that have drinking problems, because I don't have a drinking problem.
No.
And everybody's like, he's got a drinking problem. He's up at 5:30 in the morning. My thing is like, I just saw it and I was like, I want to drink. Like, I'd like to have a drink. And my body...
You do sound like an alcoholic.
I know I do. I know I sound like an alcoholic. But my body's just like, you would go, it is 5:30 in the morning. I need coffee. Like, what are you talking about?
Like, I need copious amounts of coffee.
Yeah. And my body's just like, hey, that sounds good. It's the same way as, like, I can eat Chinese food for breakfast.
Oh, God.
Like, if we have Chinese food the night before.
I love Chinese food, but not for breakfast.
I can eat it for breakfast because in my...
And you can eat it cold for breakfast.
Yeah, like, my body doesn't...
Cold Chinese food for breakfast.
Well, sometimes you don't got time. Sometimes you just got to eat and go. My body just doesn't go, it's morning time. You should be having bacon and eggs. I like bacon and eggs, but in my mind, that's not a breakfast thing. Like, there's no such thing as breakfast and dinner in my mind. There's just food. There's stuff that I like. So, Groovy Stoop Syndrome, The Bob and Katie Show 2017, trademarked.
I do agree that it's totally acceptable to have breakfast food for dinner, though.
Oh, sure.
So,
yeah,
I feel you.
And, like, I get aggravated, like, if okay, so you get up in the morning, right? And let's say that we had a birthday the day before, and there was, like, a 7-layer chocolate cake, right? Will you cut a big piece of chocolate cake and eat it for breakfast?
Probably not.
Why?
I do eat breakfast, but I have to be up for a while to eat breakfast. And then
okay, that's not what I'm getting at. Let's say you've been up, it's breakfast time, you're ready to eat. Do you cut a big slice of chocolate cake and eat it?
No.
Why?
I don't know. I don't think it would sit well in my stomach that early.
Is that for real? That's your reason?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this. You get up in the morning, you're awake.
Same reason I don't eat Chinese food for
you're
breakfast.
Ready, you're
my
ready.
My stomach just can't.
I'm about to throw this thing at you again. Let me talk. You're ready for the day, right? And I cook for you a big plate of pancakes and smother them with syrup. You can eat that?
Yeah.
Explain to me what the difference is.
I don't know.
There's not. It's
pancakes.
Mental. It's mental.
Maybe, yeah.
It's mental. And I don't have that. And I know that it's not, I'm not saying that everybody's wrong. I'm saying that I'm different.
Oh, I agree.
Everybody's like, yeah, you're an alcoholic, Bob.
No, I know you're not an alcoholic. We couldn't afford for you to be.
No. Because that was, how long ago was that? The birthday party was what, last Sunday?
Yeah.
So this was definitely at least 9 days ago, maybe. And I think that morning's the only time I've drank since then. I'm trying to justify myself now. I should probably just stop talking.
Yeah. Because I think anything you say now is just going to kind of dig your hole deeper.
Patreon.com/The Bob and Katie Show. Is that too abrupt? Should we not go into that right after? People are like, I'm not giving him his money. It's like, our money's at least
like kind of like how people don't like to give homeless people money because they're like, oh, they're just going to go buy alcohol with it. So, didn't you want to play a game of like true or false?
I did. Do you have your questions?
I do.
Where are they at?
On my phone.
Okay. We need to get a notebook and a pen. I'll be right back. You got a pencil right there. Does that work? Does that pencil work?
I think so.
There's a notebook right there. Can you grab that notebook?
Yeah.
Say it out loud. Let everybody know what happened.
The stupid thing under the table that I hit my toes on every single time. I hit my toes.
All I did was ask you to get the notebook.
I know, and I my legs were crossed, and I uncrossed my legs and hit my toes.
Go do the notebook. I'm going to do a Patreon commercial. Patreon.com/The Bob and Katie Show. If you feel bad for me because I'm an alcoholic in the morning, you want to help support my habit, just go there and you can choose to donate $1, $2, $3, $10, $100. When we get to 10 patrons, which we are at 8 right now, we're going to do a video of Katie trying to wink, which is going to be amazing. It's just going to be amazing.
Laugh it up, Bob. Laugh it up.
Oh, we will. The whole world's going to laugh. Well, not really. There's just the patrons because it'll be
10 people.
Yeah, it'll be a private video. And then when we get to 20 patrons, I'm going to send all 20 patrons a piece of the Death Jetta. So I actually had one of the.
You know that's not enticing, right?
It's. I don't care. I'm going to do it. And one of the slats fell off again for the air conditioner. So I got pieces just piling up in the floor.
Are you saving them? Are you hanging on to them?
Yeah. I'm going to mill them off. People are going to get the Death Jetta.
It's like that Johnny Cash song. Got
one piece at a time. Didn't cost me a dime. Except for the Patreon money that I sent to their house. Okay, this is what I wanted to do. I let you look for 5. Well, it was 5, right?
Yeah. I think I have more than 5, but.
5, is it true or false?
Yeah.
Okay, 5 true or false questions on any subject you want.
I know, I almost said truth or dare. It's not truth or dare, it's true or false.
We are in our 30s. We don't need to be playing truth or dare. Now, any subject, I don't care what the questions are, your choice. And then I did the same thing.
But maybe we should play truth or dare. Not right now. I'm not prepared.
You mean like on the show or like in the room?
Why you say it all like, you did like the eye thing, you said in the room.
Because this is, let me explain to you how truth and dare works. There's two different types of players. Male and female, okay? Females want gossip. Males want nudity.
You're probably right.
And that's how that game works. Because you're going to be like, you'll ask me some truth, and I'm like, hey, can you take your clothes off? I dare you take this. I mean, like, that's how it works. I mean, that's just the game.
So, true or false?
Whoa. You don't even know what's going on right now. I didn't give you any information. I just told you to get the questions.
Why are you like fussing at me right now?
Because you're trying to like jump the gun.
This is my game too.
I know. There's going to be a winner and there's going to be a loser. Okay? And there's going to be consequences for not being the winner.
So what does the winner get?
The winner gets to not be the loser.
So like the winner doesn't get a prize, but the loser gets punished. What? That's just wrong.
No, it's going to be great. And here is what the loser will do. If you lose, you get to pick any song in the whole wide world and sing it for the podcast.
I'm not singing.
And I mean the works. Like, I'm going to get the music. We're going to record your vocals. We're going to mix it.
No.
And, like, that's going to be the song we feature.
I'm not agreeing to that.
On the end of the show.
No.
Come on. It's going to be great. That's what we're doing. So you better make sure this is right. You better.
Well, you're going to lose, so hope you have your song picked out, Bob.
So am I going first?
Sure. Are we like going to take turns? Like, you ask a question and I ask a question? Or? Oh,
yeah, let's do that. All right, so you want to ask your question first? Are you going to keep score?
Yeah, you said you wanted to go first.
No, I meant like, I'm going to answer first. I wish we had like some theme music. The Bob and Katie Show's Karaoke Quiz 2017.
All right. True or false?
Here we go.
Topeka, Kansas was once renamed to Pikachu.
False. Was it really?
That is absolutely true. In 1998, Topeka Mayor Joan Wagon renamed the Kansas capital to Pikachu for a day as part of a promotional event to mark Pokemon's debut in the United States.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Like, that's an awesome thing to do as a mayor.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool.
Like, is he running for president anytime soon? Like, I feel like we should.
It's Joan.
We should vote that guy in.
It's Joan. It's a lady. Joan.
Okay. So do you mark, like, how are you going to mark down that you've already asked me one question? Just put like a 0 up above.
So, like, do I get a point since you got it wrong?
Nope. You only get a point when you get the stuff right. So when we get done with all 10 questions, whoever has the most points.
I don't mark on anything.
Okay, here you go. If your large intestine was removed, straightened, it would be equal to twice your height. True or false?
Your large intestine?
Yeah, the large one.
Would be equal to twice your height.
Give or take.
True.
True is incorrect.
Is it more or less?
It didn't say. It just said it was false.
Dang it. I was like, man, I know your small intestine's like super long.
Is it the small one that's real long?
Yeah.
That's probably what the trick is with this question then. Okay, so we're all tied up. Your turn.
Okay. True or false? The Eiffel Tower was originally built as a giant transmitter to communicate with a planned but never released French moon colony.
That is true.
That is true.
100% true.
Mm-hmm.
Give
Did you read that too? Dang it.
No, I've heard that before.
Oh.
You gonna mark that point down? Why are you so confused? I just got it right. Give me a point. Do you not understand?
No, yeah, sorry.
Okay. Are you all right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, your turn. Maine is the closest U.S. state to Africa. True or false?
That is... I'm going to go with true.
It is true. All tied up at 1. So we have 3 questions to go, right?
Yes. True or false? Female kangaroos have 3 vaginas.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you with 100% certainty that is true.
It is true.
And the reason I know that is because that was the question I was getting ready. Did we go to the same site to find these questions?
I have questions from multiple sites.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. That was literally the question I was about to ask you.
So that's not fair. That's not fair.
Oh, it's 100% fair. What makes that unfair?
What? You didn't ask me a question that I already had saved.
It doesn't matter. I knew the answer.
That's not fair.
It is 100% fair. Are you telling me that in all the true and false questions in the whole wide world, it's not fair because I picked one that was that one that you picked?
I think I should be able to ask you a different one because you already knew.
I knew the answer. It doesn't matter how I knew the answer. I knew the answer. Give me my point. I knew the answer. Why are you so mad for? True or false? France was still executing people with a guillotine when the first Star Wars movie came out.
I don't know. I really don't know. There's no way that's true. Is it? Is it true?
Are you asking me or telling me? Would it help you if I told you the year Star Wars came out?
What? Yeah, what year was it?
I think it was 1977.
I knew it was in the 70s.
Yeah.
Like, they were still, like, chopping people's heads off in the 70s?
That's what I'm asking you. In the 70s, were they still putting people on them big machines and I feel like the kangaroo vagina card is really throwing you off your game.
I think this is a hard question because I don't know, and like I wouldn't think that it was true. Like in the 70s, like that's pretty recent as far as chopping people's heads off goes. But I feel like if it was false, that you probably wouldn't have asked me. So I'm gonna go with true. Is it true?
It's true.
Is it? They were chopping people's heads off still in the 70s?
77, almost in the 80s. Mark it down. You got a point.
So, like, at what point did they actually?
I don't know.
I'm gonna look into that. True or false? The actor who played the father on Family Matters also voiced Shredder in the 1980s to 90s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon.
That is true. Is that false?
That is false. Shredder was voiced by James Avery, who played Uncle Phil on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, come on. That's not fair.
What, because it's a different TV dad?
Oh. Okay. Well, we're back on even ground again. All right, here you go. True or false? Brick buildings can never be more than 10 floors high, or they will collapse from the pressure of the bricks on the top layer.
That is false.
That is false. You got a point. Dang it. How many more questions do we got? Just one?
I think that was 4, yeah.
Okay. So I have to get this right. Because right now you have 2 and I have 2 and you have 3. It would be amazing if whatever one you picked next was the same one that I had.
True or false? When David Hasselhoff divorced, he lost possession of the catchphrase, "Don't hassle the Hoff."
I haven't heard him use that. I'm going to go with that really happened. True.
No, that is false.
Oh my God.
He retained possession of the catchphrase.
Well, there you go. I lost.
Did you ask me 5 questions? Or
No.
do you still have one more?
No, I still have one more, but it doesn't matter.
Did you want to ask me?
Sure. Oreo cookies have existed longer than chocolate chip cookies. True or false?
That's a tough one.
If you get it wrong, I'm taking a point away.
Why?
Because you made me ask you.
No, we both asked 5. What was the question again? Oreos have existed longer than chocolate chip cookies?
Yeah.
True.
It is true.
Really?
Yep. So you got 4 out of 5.
Boom.
Good job.
Now you gotta sing. Told you were gonna lose. Do you know what song you're gonna sing?
Not a clue.
Hey, Daddy.
Hey, buddy. So I know this is weird, listeners, but Katie's not with us. I've actually got Riley. Do you want to say hi, everybody? Can you say hey, everybody? We stopped the show suddenly the other night, just because I wasn't feeling well, and so we're just going to end it like this, and you can listen to Groovy Stoop Syndrome Part 2 very, very soon, but I think that's it. So I'm going to let Riley, you're going to let you end it, okay? Can you say find your laugh, find your happy?
Happy.